Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome to the West Coast at the Phoenix International Raceway at the Old Phoenix, one of our favorite Phoenixes, for the running of round number 2 for the Grand National Series for the North-South Racing League. Alongside me up here in an air-conditioned booth here tonight, Mr. Kelly Dahl.
Yeah, we love this version of Phoenix, the old worn-out racing surface and the dog leg that you cannot cut, making sure that these drivers will be staying out on the racetrack, and also the start-finish line on that straightaway, so it should provide some very good racing, though these drivers looking like they're having some issues controlling the car here tonight.
Yeah, they're looking like this will be a great race. 20 of the Grand National Stockers out here tonight at Phoenix. As we take a look at tonight's race info, Kelly, 100 laps here, 50% fuel. We're looking at probably a 2-stop race is what our calculations we were told. 100 laps, like we said, 100 miles. And the most career wins is Gary Eschen, splitting it with Ryan Johnson with each one win here. So tonight, well, we are going to set another track record, as it'll be our first qualifying session with the Grand National cars. And we're literally looking forward to that. And, if you are a NASCAR fan and have been watching the real NASCAR world, this track was remade, back in the early, right around COVID, I believe it was, wasn't it, Kelly, around 2020, this start-finish line? Well, it's on the backstretch, right underneath where we are up in that tower that you see there. So the old configuration, my favorite configuration, and we'll see who's going to tame it here tonight for 100 laps.
Just looked it up. It was 2018 when they reconfigured it and repaved it.
I was close.
And I think there was another change. I think there was like a 2-stage thing where they started to repave it, reconfigure it, and then they moved the start-finish line after they made a couple more changes, something like that. But
I think you're right.
That does not matter. We're still way back in 2008, so that's even before they made the first changes to the dog leg.
I was just wet behind my ears back then, Kelly.
I don't think either of us were even on the sim back then.
But tonight's racing action for the Grand National Series is being brought to us by our friends at RC2 Promotions and RC2 Graphic Solutions. Need your league or your racetrack to look professionally done? Look out RC2 Racing Graphic Solutions for your next event. Wizards Designs, a proud sponsor of the North-South Racing League. Austin Designs, Sufab Garage, and Mad Plowing. Here coming up is Al's Speed Shop. Fast time qualifying for our first go here at the Phoenix International Raceway, and we'll find out who is going to make it into tonight's J&D Top 8 redraw. Yes, we still do that redraw, and that really shuffles up the front here, Kelly. But with at least 2 stops coming at us, it's going to be very interesting to see who is going to make that work. As Matt Cook will be the first car, the number 15, the white and tan Chevrolet, coming up onto the racetrack for his first chance to qualify here. In a 5-minute session, you got to get on that racetrack fairly quick, or you're going to run out of time relatively fast here at Phoenix.
A little bit longer here for this track, about 28 seconds, I think, per lap. So we'll see what these drivers are going to be able to do. I took the car out myself yesterday to see how the cars were handling. It felt a little tight on entry, so these drivers will be dealing with that, trying to baby that right front, make sure it doesn't burn off too bad, and then it gets really loose on exit, so they have to be careful getting that power down. We'll see what Matt Cook can do here as he comes through turns 3 and 4 for the first time here tonight. He'll be the first one to put down a lap, and everyone will be chasing that number 15 car, putting up a 28.284 for his first lap.
Yeah, 28.284 for Matt Cook. Now Josh Cole to the top in the 09 car with a 28.232. So that's fastest so far here in Al Speed Shop qualifying as Josh Cole working lap number 2. Robbie Clavey going to come across the line. He's third quick with a 28.317. So Josh Cole comes off turn number 4, and at the line, lap number 2 is a little bit quicker, but third quick as your new quick time is the number 2 of Dan Janjanin with the wheel in Monte Carlo.
Yeah, Dan Janjanin putting up a 28.046. One other driver getting the 28 zeros along with him. That is Josh Nelms with a 28.074. Janjanin comes across the line on his second lap and will not improve. He actually drops by quite a bit. Josh Nelms, though, he'll improve 28.001. That puts him right to the top of the board and nearly gets him into that 27-second mark.
Coming off turn number 4 is the on-time number 91 of Adam Gable to put lap 1 into the books. Gable gonna go 7th quick in car number 7. Last week's winner was the number 38. I don't know if he is here tonight.
He is 4th place right now.
4th quick. Ryan Johnson in the AC Delco colors here tonight. Like it. Randy Nichols out of Texas gonna jump to the 3rd spot with his entry.
Jeff Bergner, though, he breaks that through the 28-second mark, and he gets down to a 27.938. So he'll go to the top of the board.
Well, anybody?
We'll see if that lap time will stand.
It is going to see. That is a very fast lap. Here comes Dustin Shepard to start his qualifying lap with car number 89, the Zoofab Garage Dante Curtis Designs on the hood, and that yellow number 89. Can't miss that car this season. A new color scheme for Shepard. Usually you see him in the black, blue, and purple number 89, but this year 89 in the white, yellow, and black. And he'll come off turn number 4, come across the line, and Shepard goes 3rd quick. Another driver in the 27-second bracket, Kelly. And look how tight that is. 27.938 for Bergner. Guillaume Fortin going to go 2nd quick, 27.939, and Shepard 27.940.
Yeah, very tight with the Negus as well, getting into the 27s as well. We'll see JJ McRae. He comes across with 28.027 to go 7th fastest. Scott Austin out there. He put down Guillaume Fortin puts down a new fast time, 27.926.
27.926, and Scott Austin up the racetrack in 3 and 4 and is going to have to abort lap number 2. I don't see this lap being quicker. So Scott Austin will qualify in that 9th position. But how about Guillaume Fortin sitting at the top of the scoring with a 27.926? He could pick up the Al Speed Shop Fast Time Award here tonight in qualifying for the Copper State 100. Did I tell you I went to Phoenix?
No other car. Sorry?
Did I tell you we went to Phoenix a few years ago?
You did not.
Yeah, that was fun. We stayed at the same hotel as the 99 truck there. What was his name? Ben Rhodes, when he won the championship out there. We went for the Xfinity championship race. It was a good time. Phoenix, really nice racetrack.
It does seem like it's a very fun time. However, it is way too hot for me, so I will pass.
Hey, right now we're getting ready to go into this weekly redraw presented by J&D Farms. Well, don't look too far or too hard. J&D Farms is just a really good friend of the North-South Racing League that wanted to see his name on the screen and support the racing program. So we thank J&D Farms for being our top 8 redraw. As we get ready to do that, I believe we're going to be able to talk to all of our top 8 as Ryan Johnson had qualified in that 10th position here this afternoon. So starting out with our redraw. Kelly, you want to start out first? You want me to take first tonight?
You take first. I'm still gathering everyone up.
All right. Kelly is wrangling up the rattlesnakes here. And our first one out of the pit is our fast timer in the Hugo Paquette Motorsports 13 QC. That is Guillaume Fortin. And Guillaume, long time no talk, but man, that 13 car comes out of the gate fast here tonight at Phoenix.
Yeah, this track is more in my driving style. It's more like a short track with those cars. So we went out and had a fast qualifying time, and hopefully we can be as fast in the race.
Well, what's it going to take to stay up front for these 100 laps here? What kind of racing do you think we're going to see here at Phoenix?
I think this track is going to be really hard on tire, and it seems like it's going to be hard on the right rear because it's kind of loose, but hopefully we can try to save a little bit and be there at the end.
All right, sir. Well, you get the pick of the litter 1 through 8. What's your number going to be here tonight?
I'll go with number 3.
Number 3. Well, Guillaume, you're going to be on the inside of row number 4. Going to start back there in P number 7. Can you still get it done here tonight from there?
Yeah, I think it's a long race with 100 laps on here at Phoenix tonight, so hopefully we can just be patient and make our way up front slowly.
All right, sir. Well, best of luck here tonight. Congratulations on grabbing the Al Speed Shop Fast Time Award.
Thank you.
Here you go, Guillaume Fortin. That's that fast time. He's going to start P number 7 here tonight, Kelly.
And we're going to move along here. We're going to pick up Jeff Bergner in that 21 car. And Jeff, second fastest time here. Sounds like Phoenix is looking to be a pretty good track for you.
Well, listen, everyone gets lucky every now and then, but no, I really like this track. I always have.
Well, Guillaume already claimed number 3 here. So other than that, 1 through 8, the choice is yours. What would you like?
Oh, I don't know. Let's go with 7.
We'll take number 7 off the board, and you won't be going anywhere. You qualify second, you'll be starting second, so that outside line will be yours tonight.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right, well, good luck to you, Jeff. Hopefully you can turn that good starting spot into a good finishing spot. Maybe we'll talk to you a bit later.
That's going to be a stretch, but we can give it a try for you.
All right, well, Jeff Bergner, he'll be starting in second place here tonight, Al, and we'll be moving on to our next driver.
Yeah, the next driver is the Zoofab Garage entry, the Dustin Shepard. And Mr. Shepard back into the top 8 redraw once again this week here. A little bit more of a short track-esque track for you guys to start out the short track portion of this season. What do you like about this racetrack that you think could maybe play into your hands tonight?
I wish it was actually going to be warmer, and slicker, but it's going to tighten up as the afternoon goes on. So the track's already down like 13 degrees and it's tightened up quite a bit. So I would have liked it to be a little looser because I'm hard on the right fronts, but it should be pretty racy. Said you can drive these things and manipulate them to do things. So I just like there's 2 grooves for sure. I mean, it's pretty wide. You can go 3 wide into 1 and 2. So it should be fun.
Going to be a good show, as you guys always put on good shows here. Well, sir, the number 3 and the number 7 have been chosen already. The poll is still out there. Which number would you like to hear tonight?
Let's go 2.
Number 2. It's going to be outside row number 2, P number 4 for you. So just kind of flip-flopping a little bit where you qualified. Can you get it done from there?
Yeah, so long as we don't get wrecked, and I made some long runs in practice, and I was able to save the right front. So we'll just see what the other guys do, and hope for the best.
All right, so we keep an eye on that yellow DCD entry of yours there. Good looking race car. Best of luck here tonight.
Thank y'all.
Dustin Shepard will roll off P number 4, Kelly, as you catch up with JJ McRae.
Yeah, here now with JJ McRae. And JJ, it is a hot track here tonight. Do you think you're going to be able to make that right front last? JJ, you there? Going once, going twice. We are going to have to move on here in a second. Looks like JJ's going to miss his chance at a redraw. And, actually, he just lost connection to the server. So he is having some issues. He's having some technical problems. We'll move on. We'll get back to him a little bit later. So, Al, I think you can take it away with our next driver.
All right. No one wanted to talk to you. Let's see if Scott wants to talk to me. Probably not. Scott making it into the J&D Farms top 8 redraw. Scott, this racetrack getting a little bit tight, we're told. Are you going to be able to make that right front last?
I've been doing a couple long runs, seeing how it's going to work out, and it's not looking good.
Well, the good news is you got unlimited rubber in the pit area. The bad news is every time you come on the pit road, you lose time on the racetrack. But hey, this race is going to be quite interesting. It's going to be a tire conservation and whatnot. But do you like Phoenix? You qualified well here tonight, so I assume you do okay here.
I don't mind this track. It's one of these tracks where you got to use a little bit of brake and a little bit of gas. It's not just right to the floor and right to the hard on the brake. So that's what I like.
All right, sir. Well, the good news is the pole is still out there. The numbers 3, 2, and 7 have all been chosen so far. What number would you like?
Let's take number 5.
Number 5, and that is going to take the front row away. Scott is on the pole here tonight. You're going to lead us to the green flag.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, Scott Negus is going to roll off from the pole. Best of luck to him as now we catch up with Josh Nelms in car number 00.
Here now with Josh Nelms. And Josh, after racing so many races under the lights here with this league, we're now here in the bright of day. And how different is it handling these cars with such a hot surface?
I had to put my sunglasses on. At my age, my vision has started to go, so the sun really starts to bother my eyes. But yeah, track's slick. They cooled down a little bit here in the practice session, but feel good about today. They didn't get a chance to practice last night, and got some good teammates that gave some information, and happy with the qualifying.
All right, well, you got a couple choices here tonight. We've got 1, 4, 6, and 8 still up on the board. What would you like?
I'll take 4.
Take number 4, and that is going to be the inside of row 2. A good starting spot for you tonight, P3. Do you think you can get it done from there?
I sure hope so. You know, there's like a good people in this league, and you know, I'm happy to be racing with them. You know, come out with a good top 5 finish should be a solid day for us.
All right, well, hopefully you can find that and maybe even a little bit better, and you'll be talking to us later on. So good luck to you, Josh.
Thanks, guys.
So Josh Nelms, you're rolling off P3, and Al, pretty much all of our good spots have been taken.
Yeah, it's going to come down here to these last final draws, and we'll find out where JJ's going to fall. I feel bad for that. Hopefully get back into the server for racing here tonight. But up next, we are going to talk to Mr. Randy Nichols. Nichols qualifying in P number 7. And you got a 50-50 shot of going forward or back here, Randy. You're going to start either 6th or 8th here tonight. What's your outlook coming in here? You always have a fast hot rod.
I don't know. This is it feels kind of tricky tonight. This is really the first laps I've put on this track with this car, so I'm trying to learn it as I get ready for this race. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes tonight.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you continue to practice, but first we need to choose your number where you're going to start. The numbers left to choose from are the number 6, 8, or 1. So 1, 6, or 8, that's what you can choose from.
We'll go 1.
1. That's going to be P number 6 for Mr. Randy Nichols. So outside row number 3. Outside, you going to be okay, you think?
Yeah, we'll see. I just try not to burn much stuff off. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
All right, well, best of luck to you, buddy. And we'll hopefully talk to you here at the end of the Copper State 100.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
We'll be moving along, get our last driver here, as it looks like JJ is not coming back. So hopefully he's not having some weather troubles out there wherever he is. Well, let's move along here and catch up with Dan Janjanin. And Dan, how has the car been feeling out there for you?
Good in qualifying, just because someone told me how to get around the place. But other than that, it was.
All right, well, because of a no-show a little bit earlier here, you actually do have a choice here tonight. So your choices are number 6 or number 8. What would you like?
I'll take 6.
We'll take 6, and that means you'll be starting up there in P5. So moving forward a little bit, and now that you know your way around this track, do you think you can convert that into a good finish?
Hopefully. I mean, you know me, man. Anything can happen.
All right, well, hopefully something good happens for you here tonight, and maybe we'll be talking to you a little bit later on. So good luck to you, Dan.
All right, thanks, guys.
So Dan Jannon starts 5th. That means JJ McCrae, if he's able to come back, he'll be starting back in 8th. So we have got our field set and ready for the night, Al.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one with Scott Negus and Jeff Bergner leading us to tonight's green flag. In just about 30 seconds left to go. And Jeff Bergner, top of the scoring pylon, Kelly, here in their quick little happy hour session. I think we're going to get ready to see some great action here at Phoenix. I'm really excited to see who's going to be able to save those tires, who's going to make them last, and the pit strategy. We saw last week at Daytona, the pit strategy that we both were questioning ended up being the winning one. So I think that's why we're in the booth and not on the racetrack or on top of a pit box, I think, because, well, we just don't know.
We'll see what these guys are able to pull out here. We'll see if the drivers are able to make the tires last. It is a hot racing surface here tonight. Drivers saying it was cooling off a little bit during practice, but it just heated right back up as we switched over to the race session. Actually dropped once again, so it is now actually down to 98 Fahrenheit. It was reading 114 for a moment, so I think those drivers are a little happy that it did, the reading changed and it has gone down. But once we get these cars rolling around the racetrack, I think this track's going to get warm right back up.
It will, as the Copper State 100 starting lineup looks like this. Scott Negus will start on the pole. Outside of him will be the number 21 of Jeff Bergner. The 00 of Josh Nelms and the 89 of Dustin Shepard will roll off in row number 2. Row number 3 sees Dan Janjanin and Randy Nichols rolling off 6. 7th starter will be your Al Speed Shop Fast Time, a new track record holder here at the Phoenix International Raceway, Guillaume Fortin. And outside of him, car number 77 of J.J. McCrae. Starting 9th will be Scott Austin, and slated to start 10th, but will be moving to the rear of the field. Last week's winner, Ryan Johnson. 11th starter will be Adam Gable, and outside of him in the Cole World Racing car number 09, Josh Cole.
Robbie Clavey in the number 73 will be rolling off in 13th with Austin Williams to his outside. Matt Cook in the 15 starts in 15th with Jonathan Cross in 16th. Brian Troyer in 17th. 18th will be Dylan Connor. 19th, Travis Hoefler. Chad McLeod has not made the call to the grid. And that is going to be your starting lineup here tonight.
The field rolling down here into turns 3 and 4 as the iRacing.com pace truck will peel off this time in turn number 4. Come down the straightaway. I am excited for this one as the field will come to life for the first time here tonight. The green flag is up and the Copper State 100 is green.
Negus getting a good start. Jeff Bergner not quite able to get there now, having a good run on that high side. He'll be even up and he'll get a ton of speed on the exit. Jeff Bergner launches to the race lead, and now here comes that 89 of Dustin Shepard. He's going to try to follow Negus, or follow Bergner through past Negus. And that outside line seeming to be moving early on here tonight, as now we've got a second driver trying to make it work. Negus still trying to defend on that bottom side. Just behind him, Josh Nelms under pressure from Randy Nichols.
Yeah, Negus a little bit sideways down to the apron. He goes up in front of the 69 of Randy Nichols. Your pole sitter, Scott Negus, trouble as he is plummeting through the field back to that number 7 spot. As they work down into 3 and 4, Jeff Bergner out front over Shepard, Nelms, Nichols, and Cole now. Your top 5 putting lap number 2 into the books.
Drivers were talking about how it was a little slick here tonight, and that is shown there by Scott Negus as his car got all sorts of out of shape in turns 1 and 2. Great save by him as, the 09 of Cole gets a big wiggle off of the corner. And that's where I was finding the car getting loose yesterday. I thought that was just a skill issue for me, but these skilled drivers also having trouble with the handling of this car on corner exit.
That they will, as right now he lost 09 of Cole with a great one that time as he works underneath the 00 of Nelms. Nelms up the racetrack And JJ McRae able to climb back aboard that number 77. He's going to come out, just be 3 laps down, Kelly. So he'll be able to get back out into this race and not out of it if we do get a couple yellow flags. A little bit deeper in the field. Scott Austin there. 1 car behind them, though, is the 85 of Austin Williams. He took a look to the inside of the 02 of Janin. That's the battle for 9th as they work here in the turn number 1. They've got Adam Gable in that 91 car as well right there behind them, and he's trying to be on time off the corner. A little bit of slide. Janin into the outside fence once again off of turn number 2 and through the dog leg.
Drivers now mostly single filing here. Robbie Clavey still working the high side over Matt Cook. Cook, though, getting a great launch off of turn 4, and he'll completely clear Clavey coming down into turn 1. Now here comes Ryan Johnson trying to make his way to the front of the field after getting sent to the back for winning last week, and he'll get a good run off of turn 2. He'll get caught by Robbie Clavey there and move him up into 15th.
Here we are on board with Ryan Johnson, the driver out of Salem, Wisconsin, currently 15th. On the Sandy Paws on board camera as they work here. He'll move into that next spot there. Ryan Johnson up to the 15th after starting 19th on the grid. Up front is still Jeff Bergner, but he's starting to feel the pressure from Dustin Shepard and Randy Nichols closing in on those two.
Closing in on a little bit of a 3-car fight for the race lead here. Bergner still holding on to the lead for now, though. He has led every lap so far after getting a great launch out of turn 2 the first time around. And now it's a fairly even gap between himself, Shepard, and Nichols. And then you got a little bit more of a gap back to the 2 Joshes of Nelm and Cole. Josh Cole has been under pressure from Guillaume Fortin for the last few laps. Fortin actually tried to make a move, and now he's got a full head of steam here coming down the front straightaway. He's going to take a look to the inside going into turn 1 and force Josh Cole to kind of send it on the high side to hold on to the position, and he will for now. Now up towards the front, Randy Nichols getting right up to the bumper of Justin Shepard.
Yeah, Shepard trying to feel the pressure from behind as they work here through turns 3 and 4 is Jeff Bergner still out front, but here comes Shepard with a good run that time off for turn number 4. He'll take a peek to the inside. Bid for your race lead in the turns 3 and 4. Bergner into that upper groove. Here comes Nichols down low as well, but Bergner with a great run off of turn number 1. It'll work through the dog leg. He is still going to be hold your race lead.
That high side in turns 1 and 2 really looks to be working tonight, and it seems like you are shot out of a cannon as you exit on that high side. And look at the gap that he's been able to pull as Dustin Shepard now taking pressure from Randy Nichols. Nichols making a look to the inside through 1 and 2. Can Shepard use that outside line to his advantage? Oh, he slides up the racetrack. He got in a little too hot, and that's going to cost him. He is still going to be able to be even up with the 69 car coming through the dog leg on the back straight, but not going to be able to hang on the high side here coming in through turn 3. Coming through 4, Nichols is going to be completely clear, and that's going to force Dustin Shepard to have to get down there and get low to block Josh Nelms, because now Nelms is closing in.
Yeah, and a little bit of side-by-side battle as Fortin went around the outside of Cole off of turn number 4. He'll take that 5th spot, and he's bringing into the battle number 5 of Scott Austin. And not too far behind them is Scott Negus. He's starting to make some ground back up. As remember, we saw him very loose at the start of this race. Took a little bit to get those air pressures built up to where he's comfortable, but Negus starting to make a run towards the front of this one as Jeff Bergner leads by a half second over Randy Nichols, Dustin Shepard, Josh Nelms, and Guillaume Fortin, your top 5. As they all work here already 12 laps in, working lap number 13 as the field hits turns 3 and 4.
Looks to be everyone is single file here except for Ryan Johnson trying to make a move on Dan Janjanin through turns 3 and 4. Johnson on the inside, Janjanin trying to hang on the outside. Travis Hoefler has been kind of following Johnson for the last few positions, and now Johnson getting himself up into 13th. And look at Hoefler, he's going to make that move to the bottom just like he saw Johnson do, and he's going to move himself up along into 14th. Now John Cross under fire from Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson really starting to move up here in a long race, but already, if you take a look here, we'll see Johnson is 6 seconds back from race leader Jeff Bergner as they work around the Bucky's number 10. Is Austin Williams right there went off the racetrack in that 10th spot, just clipping the apron down there. 91 of Adam Gable up the racetrack. Williams with a HendrickCars.com Chevrolet to the inside. They will still be wheel to wheel down this long front straightaway in the turn number 1. Williams trying to wrestle that spot away and will take it as he dives it hard down in the turns 1 and 2.
Oh, look at the crossover, though, from Gable. He's going to be able to get himself back up to the inside of that 85 car, and he actually got a little loose coming off the corner. He was really pushing it on exit. Now a very tight entry is going to force him to slide up the racetrack, burn off a little bit of speed, but he's able to get to the throttle earlier, surge ahead slightly, and nearly into the wall is the 85 of Williams. He's able to maintain that position right now, and now Dylan Connor's closing in on these two, trying to find his way through as Gable goes up the racetrack. Oh, Connor sideways, and Connor into the grass, into the wall on the inside of the back straightaway. No caution as he comes back onto the racetrack. Oh no, nearly getting into the 36 of Troyer, but Connor able to get back under control. I think he has really impacted the handling of his car. He cannot steer that thing. I think he's broken the left front.
Yeah, left front looks to be down on the 90 if we watch him as he's trying to get the car turned down on the pit road as he's going to get there. No yellow flag out. We will stay green, so a tough break for the 90. And it looks like that car, Kelly, both sides really hurt as the race leader moves by, as now Nichols to the race lead. We missed that as we were watching Connor. Randy Nichols has passed for the race lead. Let's take a look at see how that happened. Down here in the turn number 1 it was here, Kelly, a lap number 18, and Nichols just drives in hard, gets the car to rotate on the bottom, and takes the race lead away from Bergner.
Yeah, now Guillaume Fortin has been able to make the move on Dustin Shepard, and following him is Josh Nelms. But Nelms now under pressure from Josh Cole. We have not been able to separate the two Joshes at all here tonight. Those two drivers basically been running back nose to tail the whole time as Shepard goes right up to the wall. Looks like he was maybe just a little tight on corner exit that time, so he may have burned off his tires, and we'll be struggling for the next 20 or so laps before we get our first green flag stop, unless we get a caution before then.
Yeah, already working lap 20 of 100 here in the Copper State 100. Nelms will get by Shepard. Shepard now feeling the pressure from Josh Cole, and that car gonna really take. Oh, Scott Negus goes for a slide. Scott Negus, and there's our first Mad Plowing yellow flag of the season as the 55 of Scott Negus goes around. I don't believe he made contact with the inside wall. We'll lose plenty of track position here as our first Mad Plowing yellow flag of the season comes out.
And I think this will bring pretty much the entire field down. We had some drivers struggling with their tires, and we're about halfway through a fuel run at this point. So being able to stop now, you will still need one more stop, but that would bring you to the end of the race. So we'll see as we come around to the pit road first time here, how many drivers will take the opportunity to get down there. As you mentioned at the top of the night, Al, it is unlimited sets of tires here tonight, so they can change those rubbers as much as they want.
That they can is our first yellow flag, as it will bring everybody down pit road, and I think that's a good call to go and get those Mr. Feelgoods, as our first yellow flag is brought to us by Mad Plowing. And well, right now they are getting ready to gear up for snow removal right now in the Oregon-Wisconsin area. Give them a call, 608-217-3528, as your race leader Randy Nichols hits his pit stall here. And some live pit stops, Kelly. Normally don't see a lot of that in this series. These pit stops are going to be a little bit quicker as these cars more built for them. As Randy Nichols down here. Look at Travis Hoefler, though. Hoefler coming down pit road. He's going to come out second. Big jumper on pit road. the number 1 of Travis Hoefler.
And then it was a close one between Bergener and 410. I think it was the 21 that got it. So Jeff Bergener will be in 3rd place. We'll have to see, though. I'm guessing Travis Hoefler took only 2 tires. He's listed as only having a 9-second stop, so 5 seconds faster than everyone else. So I'll take a quick look back and see. But I'm guessing, yeah, it's only right sides for him.
Right sides. He had to do something. He was mirrored back in the back of the pack there. And, well, track position, Kelly, can be everything after the first yellow flag comes out here on lap number 22. For the spinning car of Scott Negus. As we'll get ready to go into the Mad Plowing Choose Cone. Let's take a look real quick here. You see Negus coming up underneath the 09 of Cole, and Shepard got tight there, Kelly, in the 55, just nowhere to go. Gets into the back side of him and goes for a spin.
Shepard is claiming that caution, so he will move to the back of the field. Negus does lose a good amount of track position, but had a good pit stop. He comes out in 13th. Ryan Johnson has moved way up here. He's up to 9th as we come to our Choose Cone for the first time this season. And unsurprisingly, it is going to be inside, outside for the most part here, at least for the front row. I've not seen a lot of drivers making that jump, and that's surprising because that outside lane was pretty good. So we'll see if how things are going to shape up. I think Guillaume elected to stay behind the 21 of Bergener. He did not go to the high side, so that's allowed Josh Cole to slide up into 4th effectively.
Yeah, that is very true, Kelly. Look at there, the 38 car. Don't look too far back for him. Is Ryan Johnson, last week's winner, current high points man. Going to restart in that 8th position outside the 5 of Scott Austin.
Oh, this time by, I believe the pace truck will dive to the safety of pit road, and we'll get back to green flag racing. And this time it'll be in the hands of Randy Nichols, so he'll be able to fire off basically whenever that pace truck is down and out of the way. And here we go, green flag in the hands of Barney the Flagman. And a bit of a hesitation from that 69 car, and that catches Hoefler sleeping. And that has allowed Randy Nichols to launch off into turn 1 all alone. But here comes the 1 of Hoefler. He is getting a lot of speed on that high side. But the 21 of Bergener getting a good run on the inside, as pretty much the entire field is now bunched up behind them.
Yeah, jammed up, jelly tight into turn number 3 they come. The number 69 of Nichols, your race leader. As they work here, Hoefler working there. How about the 91 of Gable? He's leaning on the 09. 8 tires turn better than 4. That's always been what I was told. Is Ryan Johnson and AC Delco 38 trying to make a move as well. As they all try to work up off for turn number 2. 1 car sideways. I believe that was Adam Gable losing momentum there. 3 wide in the turn number 3.
Gable now dropping back here as he has to cool off his tires, and was also stuck on that tight entry into 3. And now that has allowed Ryan Johnson to get a good run here. He's up into 7th. Just behind him, Scott Austin and Austin Williams battling it out. And now looks like Josh Cole is making an attempt to make a move on the 1 of Hoefler, as Hoefler has been moving back quite quickly here on the opening laps of this stint. Looks like he may be just trying to save his tires and going for a long run here.
Now Hoefler back to that 5th spot after restarting on the outside of the front row. As Josh Cole has worked by your top 3 cars. Knows Dale Guillaume Fortin takes a look to the inside. Can't quite do anything with him that time off of turn number 2. Everybody still, Kelly, you were alluding to it. Turn number 2. Seeing a lot of cars hanging that right rear out off of turn number 2, trying to get these horsepower and these Goodyear racing tires to hook up to the hot, slick racetrack here at Phoenix International Raceway.
It is fairly late in the afternoon, getting into early evening here in the sim, so it is still cooling off a little bit. But as soon as I say that, I see the track temperature reading change once again and go up a few degrees. So as these guys go around and battle for position, it's really heating up the surface, and that is going to probably is what's contributing to making that outside line so strong, with everyone running that bottom. Austin Williams still on the high side trying to fight against Scott Austin. Those guys have not figured it out yet. Austin getting ahead now. And now Williams, taking a shot from Gable as Gable tries to get himself through.
Yeah, Gable put it into the inside there. Still there, a little bit more contact off the corner. 85 is loose. Matt Cook nowhere to go, and our yellow flag comes out for the second time as Austin Williams gets sent into the spin cycle here off of turn number 2, Kelly. We saw that coming there. It looks like a little bit of arrow up off the corner. Really got that car upset.
I think he got tagged there, and that's by Gable, and that sent him around as he tried to maintain control of it, but it still sent him where. And Matt Cook getting a hard shot there on his front end, and that really crumpled the front clip of that 15 car.
That it has us go on board. Look out the front on the J&D Farms there. A little bit of contact to the left front to the right rear, and that was all she wrote. And hopefully Matt Cook's car not hurt too bad. There's a little bit of left-hand damage to the Hendrick cars, number 85 of Austin Williams. J.J. McCray, though, should get a lap back here. It looks like they're all coming down pit road once again.
There's a couple of drivers coming down pit road, a few staying out. It is Nichols, Fortan, Cole, and Clavey that have elected to stay out on the racetrack, as we really didn't have that many laps there. I'd say less than 10, or it was about 10 laps from the pit stop, so much less when you count the laps spent under caution. So I don't think it's quite enough to make it to the end on just one more stop. So we'll have to see what the plan is for these drivers. A few of them giving up the track position, maybe just taking right sides. And yeah, as the times roll in here, seeing drivers like Bergener, Nelms, and Shepard just taking right side tires.
Yeah, no surprise that Travis Hoefler comes down pit road and grabs 4 tires there, Kelly. It did work out for him, though. Got the track position still inside that top 10 as they come to the choose. Presented by Mad Plowing.
Yeah, the Mad Plowing Choose Cone here, and that's Nichols choosing the inside, and we'll see Fortin alongside him. And Hoefler will actually move up quite a few spots. There's a lot of drivers elected to take the inside there, so he'll get himself up into 6th. So this 2-tire stop on that first stop has worked quite well for him.
Yeah. I got him out of the back of the pack there, and I think track position, aero, a very fast racetrack as Phoenix is key. Couple of side notes here. The 90 of Dylan Connor has called it an evening, has pulled the 90 of the crew, saying they cannot get the damages fixed. As the pace car will be down and away while the pace truck.
Nichols jumping immediately as we go green here, so Nichols going to be nice and clear, but Guillaume going to get a decent start on his own, so he'll be able to get right down in behind the 69 car. Just behind them, though, that's where the battle begins. Josh Cole able to fend off Robbie Clavey. Clavey trying to hold the high side, scrapes the wall a little bit. That's going to kill his speed. That's allowed Bergener through. Hoefler now going through. Robbie Clavey struggling now as Shepard also follows that one car through on the bottom. Now looks like Clavey going to get a bit of momentum on that high side. Oh, the 09 into the wall. Cole getting into the wall, and that caused Jeff Bergener to have nowhere to go, and he goes right into the back of the 09 car.
Yeah, interesting right here, Kelly. Just 10 laps separating the last time these drivers were on pit road. So going to be interesting to see how these fresher tires stack up against them as Bergener takes a look on Cole now off of turn number 4. Jeff Bergener, the first with 4 fresh or newer tires on them, working here inside the top 4, looking to take it to 3rd with the chrome bullet, the 21 of Jeff Bergener. He's going to take that away as Randy Nichols and Guillaume Fortin try to run away and hide.
Yeah, they need to try to open up a gap and get as much distance as they can while the other drivers that came down pit road burn off those right sides that they swapped out. Bergener getting through the 09. Oh, Cole getting into the 89 of Shepard. And that forced the 5 of Austin to check up. And now here comes Ryan Johnson able to surge through on the bottom. He's trying to see if he can get a few more spots here, as looks like Cole is really struggling with the handling of his car.
Yeah, Cole trying to get a handle on that as the air pressures get built up and the temperatures. Scott Austin's going to tuck in behind Ryan Johnson. That's for 6th and 7th as they look to take 5th away from Josh Cole. Cole fights back hard in the turn number 1. Ryan Johnson down low. Scott Austin in that middle-ish groove up off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Scott Negus sideways. At the back of the pack, everybody keeps it pointed in the right direction. We will stay green.
Cole way up high there in 3 and 4. Now trying to see if he can roll some momentum on the high side coming down the front straightaway, as Johnson is going to match him basically coming down into turn 1. Oh, Johnson understeers a little bit, gets up into the door of Cole, and now here comes Scott Austin trying to look to make it 3 wide coming down the back straight through the dog leg, and it is going to be Johnson ahead here as he goes down into turn 3. He's going to have to guard the inside as Cole tries to get back on the high side, and Scott Austin tries to move himself up, and he is going to get through there. And now Hoefler is going to try to get through. It looks like Cole really struggling on these older tires.
Yeah, Cole really struggling as both Austin and Johnson move by for 5th and 6th. Cole trying to hold on to the 7th spot is now Hoefler down to the inside, trying to make something happen to this move up there. Josh Nelms working his way back towards the front. And I tell you, the fast car on the racetrack is J.J. McRae. You see him in that black and orange 77. He is still 3 laps down. Surprised they did not get any wave rounds in those first 2 yellow flags. So to be only 1 lap down, but never too late. Just shy of that halfway point. A long ways to go here at Phoenix, as Randy Nichols still leads over Fortin, Bergner, Shepard, and Johnson. Your top 5 here at the Copper State 100. As we watch the battle for that 7th spot, Josh Cole has it. Hoefler and Nelms right to the back trunk lid of that Chevrolet.
Austin Williams has called it a night after being involved in that accident. Looks like he had too much damage to continue, just could not get whatever was bent straightened back out. So that is going to be the end of his night. He'll be scored in 18th here as we continue to see these battles shape up, and it looks like Bergener and Shepard are slowly closing in on Fortin and Nichols.
You gotta wonder if that's the difference in the tires as they get into this run here. You see our highest mover is Travis Hoefler, up 11 spots from his 19th starting spot as he sits in the 8th spot. And we'll see how that will shake out the rest of this race here. But as you alluded to, Kelly, the top 4 ever so slightly getting closer and closer together. And you need to see how much harder Bergner can charge into turns 1 and 2 over their top 2. Now it's a 4-car battle for our race lead.
Yeah, Bergener and Shepard have both been running just a little bit faster, but the big difference is they only took 2 tires. They only took those right sides, but that right side is what you are leaning on in these corners, both on entry and exit, as you're really burning off that right rear as you try to really hammer that throttle down out of turn 2. And now the lap times are actually starting to equalize a little bit. Nichols was actually faster than both Bergener and Shepard that last lap, so I don't know if it's just them getting a little closer, getting into the air, or if they have burned off those right sides here.
We will have to wait and see how that's going to play out there. A little bit deeper in the field, Adam Gable is battling hard with the 55 of Scott Negus. That's for the 10th spot. And Gable kind of concedes that in the turns 1 and 2. Tries to cross him over with a good run off of turn number 2. Unable to get back there is Scott now into that number 10 spot. And remember, he was up front early on, got into trouble when Shepard got tight. And just clipped the left rear and went for the spin for life. No, not too much damage at all to the 55 car as he finds himself trying to regroup from that yellow flag a little bit earlier on here in the event.
Gable also took the EOL for that last caution, so he's trying to fight his way back up towards the front. He was one of the drivers that came down pit road on the caution as well, so he does have fresh tires, and I believe he took 4, so he is going to have a lot of grip underneath him. Just in front of them, though, there is a 4-car battle for 7th place. Josh Cole still hanging on to it over Hoefler, Nelms, and McRae. As actually McRae is a couple laps down, so it is only a 3-car battle for position. McRae just looking to hang on and maybe get a couple spots.
Travis Hoefler trying to work underneath him in that number 1 car. Looks like he gets on the gas. You can hear him playing with the throttle as we are on board with the J&D Farms onboard camera. And these guys really having to work that throttle. 2x2 though as they battle up off the corner. That's McRae. He's trying to get up to that race lead to get all that back the hard way. Is this battle happening some 4 seconds behind Randy Nichols and Guillaume Fortin, your race leaders.
Yeah, good battle between Cole and Hoefler here as they're banging doors down towards the front straightaway and crossing the line. It is just barely Cole ahead of Hoefler, and Hoefler now getting up into Cole coming through turns 1 and 2. And Hoefler really had to check up on the exit there to not put the 09 into the wall, and that allowed Josh Cole to get a bit of ground there as, Hoefler sails it into turn 3, gets loose, and doors Cole once again.
If you are JJ McRae here and you're seeing this battle, do you back out of it trying to make no contact with anybody in case that Mad Plowing yellow flag comes out once again? But that is not the case. McRae, though, up there mixing it up with these leader cars as Hoefler takes that 7th spot away from Cole. Nelms now battling the 77 of McRae. That is not for position as Josh Nelms trying to get up there to catch the backside of the 09 of Cole. That would be the battle for the 8th spot. Scott Negus and both Gable closed in on this battle as they were stacked up there 2x2.
Out towards the front of the field, Randy Nichols has pulled a half-second lead over Guillaume Fortin as it looks like the other drivers have all kind of lost a step there. They're about running the 28.4 as well. Nichols still able to manage 28.3s, so Nichols really babying his tires well and has been able to maintain the grip. As Bergner and Shepard have really fallen off. They're down into the 28.5s now, despite the fact they have got fresher right side tires. So maybe they did push just a little too hard to try to catch Nichols and Fortin.
That we will see here just past the halfway point, working lap 50 for your race leader, Randy Nichols, out at the front of this one. He has been out front. We've had 3 lead chases, 2 yellow flags for 7 laps, and your, like I said, current race leader is Randy Nichols. Watching this battle back here, though, Josh Nelms underneath Josh Cole, Scott Negus, and Adam Gable all battling here inside the top 10. As Nelms has worked underneath Cole, as Cole slide back, has slowed a little bit, Kelly, but he is still under fire from the 00 Nelms and the 55 of Scott Negus as they will work off for turn number 4. Nelms is going to take that 8th spot, Josh Cole back to 9th, and here comes Scott Negus.
Josh Cole, one of those 4 drivers to not take tires on the last caution, and big slide there from the 55 of Negus. We saw him go around earlier, but he's able to maintain control this time. But a big wiggle from him, and he barely hangs on coming off of turn 2.
That he does as they work here off the corner, single filing it out. Everyone kind of buying their P's and Q's. Last time by, Guillaume Fortin was a little bit quicker than your race leader, but that gap still continues to be just about 3/4 of a second as Randy Nichols starts to stretch it out a little bit even more over Guillaume Fortin.
Yeah, but just behind them, looks like it is Jeff Bergner now under fire from Ryan Johnson. Johnson just a few laps ago was able to get past Shepard, and now he's got to the inside of Bergner. Johnson, he took 4 tires on that last stop, and you're able to see the difference there between 4 and 2 as he's just got a little bit more grip helping him through those corners, and now he's up into third place after having to start at the back of the field tonight.
I don't know about you, Kelly, but I'm kind of surprised at how much better a 4-tire stop is over 2 tires. Is historically, left sides do not wear out that bad on these Grand National cars, but here tonight with the way the cars are sliding around, I think a 4-tire stop is something that might be a must, especially on this last stop, as we are almost into that window where one stop could make it the rest of the distance.
And it did almost take 30 laps, though, from the pit stop for Johnson to really come into form here and get the pace, as he still has to try to close up on Nichols and Fortin. And he's running faster than Nichols, but not by much. Last lap, a 4.69 from Nichols and 4.45 for Johnson. So despite the fact that Randy Nichols is on older tires, he's still been able to maintain the pace.
Yeah, and really Nichols has kind of been out, well, not kind of, has been out front. If we go up here and look at the Mooney 69 car, he's been out front here as he is currently your race leader, and he's led 42 of the 61 laps here tonight. So he comes up on the backside of the 73 of Robbie Clavey, and Clavey just coming out of pit road. Josh Cole on pit road right now as we close in on these pit stops. So
yeah, at least for the drivers that did not pit on that last one. So you got to remember they had about 10 extra laps, so they are entering their window now. So hopefully they'll still be able to make it to the end. It's going to be close for Cole, and I don't know about Clavey.
Yeah, we were told right around 40 to 42 laps was most likely the fuel window calculations. Is a 36 of Brian Troyer on pit road. Guillaume Fortin still holds on to that number 2 spot. Ryan Johnson, though, starting to close in as Fortin's car starting to go away. 1.5 seconds back now from race leader Randy Nichols. And Johnson starting to close in. Bergner and Scott Austin rounding out your top 5.
Guillaume really dropping back. He's still running about a 10th slower than Nichols. Johnson also running a 10th faster as well. And Fortin's going to be getting close to his pit window here as we see, Josh Cole nearly getting up into him. And Cole's a few laps down now. He had a very long stop. It was 55 seconds. So don't know what was going on with Josh Cole as Guillaume Fortin now comes down to pit road, as now Cole getting to the side of Ryan Johnson.
And your race leader, Randy Nichols, on pit road as well, Kelly, as he will take the 69 down pit road at a very slow 55 miles an hour, and he'll make that hard left-hand turn into his pit stall, which I assume will be his last stop of the race. As your race leader, Ryan Johnson, leads over Bergner, Austin, Shepard, and now Josh Nelms, your top 5.
Yeah, it's still going to be about a few more laps, maybe about 10 laps until we see Johnson and Bergner come down. And there is going to be an advantage for Johnson and Bergner and Austin because they are able to go a little further. They're not going to need as much fuel to put into the car to get to the end on this last stop. So we'll see if Johnson can maintain that advantage.
Yeah, we'll see where they blend back out on the racetrack. They have to start finish line now. Guillaume Fortin about a half a straightaway behind him as he is back out on the racetrack. And Fortin, the first car that came down pit road, and his pit stop a little bit quicker than Randy Nichols' pit stop. Randy Nichols right there as he works around the 5 of Scott Austin. And just the speed difference between tires versus old tires is quite there as both Bergner and Shepard hit pit road.
Yeah, Hoefler, Negus, Nelms, Cook all coming down pit road as well. So see where these guys are going to blend back out. But Johnson's still ahead of the field here as he continues to lead. He has not pit in just yet. Looks like he's wanting to stretch this as long as he can. And I mean, with the lap times he's been running, he's been maintaining a good pace. If he can go a little bit further and just try to get that time back with the overcut, with just having to fuel up less, we'll see how that's going to work out for him. Just behind him, though, that's Guillaume Fortin, but Fortin is a full lap down. And now it is only 2 cars left on the track that have not pit, Johnson and Austin.
It looks like Ryan Johnson going to come off a pit road right now as Guillaume Fortin was coming. Did he stay out too late with Guillaume on those fresh tires? As you guys slow down here on pit road. A cold 45 miles an hour down into your pit box as everyone else is up to speed. Guillaume Fortin getting back on the lead lap. So green flag cycle of pit stops coming there as Scott Austin stayed out, Kelly. Surprising, but now Austin will come down this time to pit road.
And Johnson came in extremely hot, and he's actually going to be way behind Fortin and Nichols, actually. So that was surprising. But yeah, Johnson came into the pit road very hot. I had to keep an eye on his pit timer, see if he got a penalty. Looks like he got away lucky that time. But he is a few seconds behind Guillaume and Randy here as he gets back up to speed. As these drivers now trying to pass Scott Austin as he pits. Austin will not be able to get out in time, so he will lose the race lead, and it's going to be in the hands now of Guillaume Fortin.
Yeah, Fortin leads over Nichols, Johnson, Bergner, and Shepard. Your top 5, and Fortin with a 1-second lead over Randy Nichols, which when Nichols came down pit road, Kelly, he had a 1.5-second lead over Guillaume Fortin. So a big makeup on pit road. Did Fortin get enough laps, enough fuel in the tank to go these last 29 laps?
I'm going to have to take a look and see on that last stop, because it was nearly 4 seconds the difference between Nichols and Fortin on the stop. So wondering if Guillaume really just shorted on the fuel, or if he tried going with just 2 tires. Yeah, he only took right sides.
So we'll have to see how this works out as we are on board with Guillaume Fortin. Taking a look back here. Currently first, and you can see that yellow and black number 69 ever so glowing up there. Fortin did say he liked this racetrack. That's half the battle, and it is playing the strategy right. Will he have done that? We will find out. 27 laps, but Randy Nichols took 2/10 off last time by.
Yeah, Nichols showing the pace advantage between 2 and 4 tires as he tries to close up on Guillaume. Though you got to wonder, is Guillaume maybe just going a little bit easy here, trying to make the tires last? We saw last time Randy Nichols was really good over the long run.
You can't count Ryan Johnson, but I would say 25 laps and being 4 seconds back, probably a little bit too far without the aid of a Mad Plowing yellow flag.
And a little bit of action here on track. Scott Austin gets around Josh Nelm, so he moves himself up into 7th. As pretty much everywhere else on track, the cars are very strung out after that last pit stop.
Austin was our last car to come down pit road, so the freshest tires as he looks to chase down the one of Travis Hoefler. Hoefler in front of him in that number 1 company wrenchiracing.com sponsored entry. Good looking race car. Hoefler always makes me laugh. He's got that chicken on the back side of the car once again, Kelly, and I just love that.
He is forcing Scott Austin to just sit there and stare at it right now, and I think he would hope for him to be staring at it for the next little over 20 laps here as we get towards we're now into the final quarter of this race. But Austin has been running some fairly quick lap times here, and he was about 0.2 of a second faster than Hoefler last time. And this previous lap, speaking of 2/10 faster, Ryan Johnson 2/10 quicker than both Fortin and Nichols, as Nichols is actually right onto the bumper of Guillaume.
Yeah, as they work down here in turns 3, Fortin holds on your race lead, but Randy Nichols applying the pressure. The eyes of the Moonies looking at the back bumper as you see Fortin a little bit loose off of turn number 4. Down to the inside, going to use Josh Cole as a pit. Cole moves up the racetrack. Fortin holds on to it. Here comes Nichols. Nichols draws even as they work down through the dogleg. 13 of Fortin using the outside. Can he hold on to it? Nichols just powers into turn number 3. New race leader, Randy Nichols, off of turn number 4. 21 laps to go.
Yeah, it looked like Fortin was just trying to cross Nichols up there, but Nichols had the tires to be able to make that stick. And thanks to him taking 4 tires, he has got himself back into the race lead. But as these guys battled it out, it did allow Johnson to gain a little bit more time. He got about 6/10 on Guillaume that last lap, but he's still about a little over 2 seconds behind.
Question for you, Kelly. If we get a yellow flag at any point here, do you chance it, or do you think that draws everybody down pit road?
I think there's enough time that it will bring everyone down pit road, and it does seem like it would make a good about half second or more for these drivers. So at this point, it will be probably a good call to come down pit road.
Scott Austin has worked his way around the number 1 of Hoefler, moving him into the 6th spot as he sets sails, trying to catch up on Shepard. As we watch the battle for the race lead, is now Fortin starting to fall back from the 13 of, or the 69 of Randy Nichols, who is just out front, flat out flying. Has probably been the best car here this afternoon, I would say, besides maybe Ryan Johnson. But Johnson has not been able to get up front as fast, as now he's just 2.1 seconds behind Randy Nichols. You think Johnson needed Fortin to put up a little bit more of a battle in order to close in a little bit more, just over 2 seconds behind with 18 laps to go.
Yeah, I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a fight, but Guillaume just did not have the tire life to be able to hang with Nichols, since Nichols took those extra tires. So Guillaume trying to roll the dice, trying to make something happen. He knew that Nichols had the pace, so tried to see if he could just get in front of him and hang on, but not quite working. He's now going to have to hope for a caution to maybe come back down, take some tires, and make another attempt at it. But the big thing, if a caution were to come down and out now, and a driver's
there it is
out, and looks to be Negus has spun once again off of turn 2. And now the question is that I was about to state: are you taking 2 or are you taking 4?
I think if you are Fortin, you have to take 4. I think the 2 tires top did not help you there, as the pace car will get pick up the field. Let's take a look back here and see what exactly brought out Scott Negus to the infield. Just lost it all by him lonesome, and just ever so kissed those rubber tire barrier down there off of turn number 2. So don't think it hurt it too much, Kelly, as the field gets caught up behind Randy Nichols. Which, if I'm a guessing man, I think Nichols probably would have preferred to stay green.
I think he would have. He was running well, had a good gap that was growing. So he probably wanted to stay green, but now he has to make the choice, and he will choose to lead the field down pit road, and it looks like everyone is following him. So now we'll see who's taking 2, who's taking 4. I think you're right. I think Guillaume needs to take 4, which will allow Nichols to take 4 as well if he were to want to. Johnson has the option. We'll see what he elects to do. He took 4 on the earlier stop, and that he was able to work well with him. So let's see. Drivers coming down into their box. Guillaume having the great positioning of being right at the front. So as soon as he gets out of the box, he doesn't have to get fully up to speed. He is going to get out there quick. And he only took 2 tires. So did Jeff Bergener.
Hoefler getting out. Scott Austin getting out. Something going on with Randy Nichols, as he's still on pit road, Kelly. And now he's down and away.
28-second stop for him.
Possible
So I'm
speeding penalty?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm going to go take a look at his pit entry here. I thought he was slowed up, but let's see. Yeah, he did let it linger a little fast for a little bit there. So I think you're right. I think he did maybe get dinged with a pit speeding penalty.
Tough break for probably one of our most dominant cars here this season as the Mad Plowing yellow flag will go away. We thank you as they gone through the Choose Cone. And Mad Plowing is your go-to landscaping company in Oregon, Wisconsin area, specializing in snow removal during the current winter months and mowing services all summer long. Whether it's clearing your driveway or keeping your lawn pristine, they've got you covered. Give them a call today at 608-217-3528 for all your landscaping and snow removal needs. Field getting ready to come back into the restart zone as the lights stay out onto the pace car. Not going to go this time. Not going to go this time as the field's still trying to get bunched up.
It's going to be Guillaume on the inside, Shepard on his right, and then Bergener, Hoefler, and Austin. All of those drivers had elected to take 2 tires that last stop. First driver to take 4 is going to be Adam Gable back there, starting in the 6th position. And then Ryan Johnson also taking 4 tires. He'll be starting back there in 7th. And we're going to have just over 10 laps to the end of this race when we go back green.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little surprised with Fortin's choice of 2 tires there, especially with how the car fell off there before this yellow flag presented by Mad Plowing.
I think he wanted to defend the track position, and it's put him in a good spot now. There's quite a few drivers that did elect to take 2, and I think that's what he was trying to cover off.
We will see as the pace car peels off the racetrack. Guillaume Fortin into the restart zone. Green flag is out, and we are back on our way, and a good launch this time by Fortin as he will clear Shepard in the turn number 1.
Yeah, we have got 12 laps to the end here. Is Guillaume going to be able to hang on? It looks like just behind them, Hoefler having to check up a lift a little bit to not get into the wall coming off of turn 2. That's allowed Scott Austin to get a good run there. Gable runs up the racetrack, gets into Hoefler. Hoefler goes around, and he's going to kick back up the racetrack, and I think he got one more driver. It looks like Brian Troyer gets involved, and that takes the front end off of him.
Yeah, Brian Troyer involved there. I believe also Scott Negus got a little bit of that one as the Mad Plowing yellow flag comes out for the 4th time. Let's go and take a look here at the one, and Gable into the corner hot, just washes up the racetrack trying to catch it. And down there, yeah, Scott Negus getting a little bit of it, and Troyer, so a tough break there for the General Tire. Gone for the slide there. Let's go back. We'll watch it on board with Scott Negus off the front. That car just snapped right back to the right, and a little bit of contact. Yeah, I think, like you said, though, Troyer getting the worst of it.
And a couple of drivers having to come down pit road. It's all 3 of the drivers that were involved in that accident trying to just fix up their cars a little bit before they get back out here for these last 10 laps.
And I believe Adam Gable took the blame for that as he is dropped to the rear of the field.
And that is going to be the end of the night for Hoefler, it seems. That's unfortunate for him. He had been running a great race up until then, but that is going to be all for the number 1 machine.
We take a look at the pit strategy. Everybody came down on lap 54. As everybody chooses Dustin Shepard going to go to the outside. Interesting. Scott Austin going to stay down low. Ryan Johnson outside row number 2, Kelly, with those 4 fresh tires.
Yeah, Johnson in a good position. This caution working out for him. He's got the tire advantage over Shepard and Fortin, as well as Bergener, and we'll have to see with what he can do with it from that position. He's probably going to have to hope for Shepard to get a good launch so that he can immediately jump Bergener, and then he has to get to work immediately. We're going to have, I think, 8 laps to go if we're going green this time, so those laps are going to go by quick. He's going to have to make those moves quick.
That he will. Dustin Shepard on the outside of Guillaume Fortin. Jeff Bergner, Ryan Johnson, last week's winner. Can he go back to back? We are about to find out here. Green flag is up and we are back underway. 8 laps to go as Guillaume Fortin jumps out to the race lead. Ryan Johnson's around the outside of Jeff Bergner. Scott Austin right there as well. He's Mr. Where did he come from? Is Scott Austin making it his way back into the top 5.
Johnson has now got himself clear of Bergener, and now he has to try to chase down the 89 of Shepard, and the driver starting to get himself back into conversation here. Looks like Randy Nichols, he's slowly closing back in. He's got himself up to 8th, but he's got a long ways to go to get back to the front. Bryan Johnson now really putting the pressure on Shepard. He's getting his nose to that left rear that's just behind them. Bergener gets hard into the wall, but the 5 of Austin cannot find a way around that slowed up race car.
Now Austin enters a little bit high as the battle sued by 2. Up off of turn number 4 is Ryan Johnson now in the second with 6 laps to go, and this is all beautiful in the rear view mirror of Guillaume Fortin, as Fortin is starting to extend the lead as these battles behind him. 2 by 2. How about 3 wide as Randy Nichols takes it down low underneath Nelms. Tight squeeze play in the turn 3. Nichols is going to make it work. Nichols in the 5th. Can he make it done? 5 laps to go.
Now Johnson gonna get barely clear, not quite, of Dustin Shepard. He still has a ways to go, though, to get around Shepard and then get up to Guillaume, as Shepard actually continues the fight as he gets the little bit of an advantage on the high side there in 1 and 2. So Guillaume is going to keep opening up the gap. It is now over 0.8 of a second as Bergener goes way hard into the corner and gets into the left rear of Shepard, and that really messed up Shepard. Shepard's still trying to get control of his race car, and that has dropped him way back as he continues to fight. Now Nichols going to get involved.
Nichols around there. They got 12 tires trying to make it work. And Bergner now going to get hooked and go hard to the outside wall. Josh Nelms involved. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Big impact for the 21 car of Bergener, as that was basically a fight from that had stemmed from that contact in turns 3 when Bergener sent it in and gave Shepard a tap, and it seemed like Shepard did not want to let that 21 by, and it nearly involved a few other race cars coming through turns 1 and 2, and then after turn 2 he just hooked them.
And into the outside wall, and tough bystander was the 00 and Nelms. Josh Nelms nowhere to go. As he kind of checked up and got ran into from behind, that they could not see what was happening. So our yellow flag comes out for the 5th time here tonight, hitting our average at the Phoenix International Raceway. And if you're Guillaume Fortin, I don't think you wanted that one to come out.
No, Guillaume was nearly a second clear. He wanted to just cruise off to the finish here. And now this is going to give Johnson an opportunity to make an attempt at the race lead. But you got to wonder how much was Johnson having to really lean on his tires and push to be able to fight around Dustin Shepard. So will he have the tire life left to go after Guillaume?
We will see. How about Randy Nichols? He was in that battle that was 3 wide there for the yellow flag, and is there left front damage on the 89 car? That's going to hamper his progress forward.
If there is, there's not much of it. He's looking fairly clean, but again, he had to fight with Johnson, and he only took those right sides on that last stop. And what's wild to see, though, is looking at the pit timing at the end of our timing and scoring here and seeing our leaders, 9, 14 between, the 2-tire, the 4-tire, another 9, and then Randy Nichols with a 28. And somehow he has found himself in 3rd place with a shot for the race win.
Gotta be in it to win it. I think these yellow flags have definitely helped him, but I think he had a fast car anyway, slicing up through there, Kelly. I still am a firm believer he had a penalty of some sort to be on pit road that long. Unless he had a bathroom break, maybe.
Yeah, well, we can ask him if he can hang on to that position or improve it in the post-race show.
Maybe he was getting an ice cream cone.
We will see here green, white, checkered, ready to go. Our first overtime of the season. Pace car now down and away. And Guillaume trying to hang on to the race lead as he launches off now down towards the turn 1. As Ryan Johnson not getting the best start, and that's allowing Randy Nichols to get to his left rear here. Nichols was on 4 fresh tires. And will he be able to catch Guillaume? Will he be able to pass Johnson? These guys battling out side by side down the back straightaway into turn 3.
Side by side they come. The white flag will fly for Guillaume Fortin as he's got some fast hot rods chasing his Ford. Side by side contact between Nichols and Johnson. They lean on each other. Shepard is right there as well. Shepard drives in deep, gets into the back bumper to the 38 of Johnson. He gets sideways. Nichols is sideways. They're all sideways. Fortin leads it in the turn number 3.
Guillaume Fortin going to be completely free and clear coming through 3 and 4. He's got about a 4/10 of a second lead over Nichols, and Guillaume clean off of turn 4. He will win the Copper State 100. And Randy Nichols going to bounce back from that rough last pit stop. He'll take 2nd place, and Ryan Johnson will have to settle for 3rd.
That was a great finish there. They were laying it all out there, racing each other hard. As Guillaume Fortin will pick up round number 2 here at the Phoenix International Raceway for the North-South Racing League's Grand National Stock Series. As Fortin will come down here and salute a jam-packed house. Got some personnel running down there on pit road, Kelly. Some police officers down there. Some unhappy people, I believe. As Guillaume Fortin burns it down. He's happy.
Yeah, he said he liked this track, and he had a few struggles throughout the night, but it was able to all work out for him in the end, as he will take the race win here tonight.
As we get ready to head downstairs, we got to remind you that tonight's post-race show is brought to us by SimRacerHub.com. That's the place where leagues keep it organized, from schedules to rosters to points, stats, and standings. SimRacer Hub makes running a league simple so drivers can focus on racing. If you're looking to track your league the easy way, check out SimRacerHub.com, the official post-race show sponsor of the North-South Racing League. And Kelly, we are down here on Victory Lane, and I believe you are standing by with a driver who is unbuckling and getting the helmet off and has a big smile.
Yeah, here and now with Guillaume Fortin. And Guillaume, you said at the beginning of the night, this track is one that you like and one that suits your style, and definitely seems like that was the case here tonight.
Yeah, surprisingly, it went really good. I think I was able to save my stuff, but the caution with 15 laps to go really helped me to get Randy and Ryan, because those guys were pretty quick. But at the end, with all those restarts, I was able to get a jump, and I was always trying to get the second guy in line behind me to battle with the outside guy, so that way I could get out in front, and it worked at the end. I'm happy with that.
Well, coming to that last pit stop under caution, were you already weighing up the options of a 4-tire or 2-tire before that caution even came out?
Yeah, with 15 to go, I was already decided it was with 2 tires was the call to make. Track position here is really good because it's really hard to make passes. Some of the guys are really good on the top, and some of the guys are really good on the bottom, so it's always hard to make passes at the end of a race like this when everybody's on new tires. So the call was already made to keep 2 tires on it.
Well, next week we're going to be going on to another short track, North Wilkesboro. What are you expecting from there?
Yeah, starting from the back, it's gonna be hard, but I think it's gonna be like this one. I think it's gonna be a race where you're gonna have to save your stuff and trying to make your way up front cleanly and just being patient. I think this track is very unique. It has a groove on top and a groove on the bottom also, so it's gonna be a great race, I think, next week.
All right, well, before we let you go, Guillaume, who would you like to thank for your win here tonight?
Yeah, I have to thank everybody that follow us during the real season in the summer. Boudreau VR and also Les Cuisines Montbois, all the guys behind us, and also you guys for putting this broadcast, and all the admin team at NSRL. Always fun to race with everybody on Monday night.
Well, thank you so much for coming out and talking to us, Guillaume, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you, guys.
So Guillaume Fortin battles it out and is able to take home the win here after a little bit of overtime at the Copper State 100.
That he does, and this driver led the most laps here tonight. Gonna come up one spot shy, but not for not trying. The Mr. Randy Nichols. Randy, what happened on the last pit stop? Did you get an ice cream cone or what happened there?
No, it was speeding.
Ah,
For speeding.
I was hoping
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
ice cream.
No, man, it was one of those cases of me trying to. I was just trying to kind of create a bit of a gap because I really thought that there's going to be plenty of guys that were going to just take 2 tires, and the problem with that was going to be I didn't want to be too far back in the field. So I was just trying to try to push the limit there a little bit, and it just went red a couple times too many, and yeah, just self-inflicted this time instead of just getting passed out of 4. But back-to-back weeks with for P2, it's pretty good. I needed to at least kind of take solace on that.
Hey, and you're gonna lead the most laps here tonight. You had a really good race car here and a nice bounce back even after that. I know. Probably aided a little bit by those yellows, but this car just pure rocket ship here tonight at Phoenix. What fits the car combo in your driving style at Phoenix to make you so good, you think?
I mean, I think it was more so just putting the right brake bias in this thing, and really using the brake bias to help it turn into the corners, and then really kind of just driving it off, and then I like to have a lot of straight drive off the corner, and with this thing, with having the brake bias that it had, and kind of setting up the corner that way, kind of diamonding off the bottom, it really had a lot of speed down the straightaway. So it worked. I mean, I like this layout, and this car is fun to drive. So luckily that combo for me worked tonight.
Well, you're gonna have a great race next week. We head out to North Wilkesboro to end the 2025 portion of this series. What kind of racing do you expect, or what can we expect as we head out to North Wilkesboro?
I think it's going to be obviously a lot closer quarters, with it being just a little half mile. Running the bottom there. I don't know if we're running the Legacy or if we're running the updated track, but I think with the updated track, you might have a couple more lanes to run, but even then, I think the bottom's preferred, but when you have somebody to your outside, they can pinch you down and kind of stymie your run off the corner. So we'll see. Hopefully, we get some green flag racing, and we'll kind of see who the comers and goers are next week.
All right, sir. Well, a great runner-up finish once again this season. It's a good start to the points season. Who makes it all possible for the 69 car to be talking to us here on the post-race show?
Definitely my girlfriend, because man, when I when I got that penalty, I was pretty pissed off. But she, she's always supportive, and so she kind of helps me kind of recenter myself and focus. But big thanks to her, watching every broadcasted race I race in every week, and then my dad watches all the broadcasts, all my races. He usually tells me good job and tells me where I messed up. So, and then thanks to you guys for putting on the show for us.
Well, no, we thank you. We wouldn't have a show without you guys, the drivers, and you put a heck of a good one on there. Thanks for everything, and we hope to be talking to you next week in North Wilkesboro.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, Randy Nichols going to come up one spot shy here tonight, Kelly. But I think easily to say he was probably one of the best cars out on the racetrack.
Definitely a fantastic drive from him, and as well from our next driver here. Catching up now with Ryan Johnson. And Ryan, after winning last week, you had to start at the back here, and you were basically involved in battles all throughout the field. What was it like making your way up to the front?
Yeah, I forgot about that rule. And then I got the EO up the start of the race. I'm like, oh man. It was pretty difficult. Kind of hard to pass here tonight, until strategy kind of came into play. Yeah, I mean, there was battles going on all around the track, though. Sometimes people get stuck side by side for multiple laps, and it was some really good racing. It was a lot of fun. I kind of wish we could have gone green to the end there after the green flag pit stop. I don't know what would have happened. I think I might have had a chance to run Randy down, but I think the tires were pretty close to equalizing. But overall, still a lot of fun. Glad to be able to come home with a P3, so I'll take it.
Well, when we came to that last pit stop, what was fueling your decision to take 4 there?
Well, I heard throughout the race a couple other guys took 2, and they said it wasn't really helping them. I believe G took 2 on the last green flag stop there, and I was running him down pretty quickly. So I didn't think 2 would be good for the long run, but I didn't know how it'd be for the short run. I just figured stick with what I know and take 4. We'll see what happens. Because, coming out of the pits, I was like, this might not have been such a good idea, but I think we just had a couple things go our way those last couple of restarts, and we're able to make up some of those spots back.
Well, next week we'll be moving on to North Wilkesboro. What are you expecting out of there, and are you thankful you don't have to start from the back?
Yeah, definitely. If I had to choose between Phoenix or North Wilkesboro, I'd take Phoenix to use the EOL at. But I think probably some more of what we saw tonight. North Wilkesboro, last time we were there, we had some good multiple lane racing. So I'm hoping we get some more of that. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't driven these cars much, so I don't really know what to expect. So it's going to be a learning experience at every track we go to.
All right, well, before we let you go, Ryan, who would you like to thank for your 3rd place run tonight?
Just all the admins at NSRL putting this on. You guys up in the booth for broadcasting. My teammates after dark, and everybody tuning in and watching.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming out and talking to us, Ryan, and hopefully we'll be hearing from you next week.
Thanks, guys.
So Ryan Johnson has to cut his way through the field, but he comes home with a 3rd place finish, and I don't know the math, but I think he will also have the championship lead after this.
Yeah, I would assume so, with leading the most laps here tonight, Kelly. It all really depends on the bonus points from last week. I didn't really look at the points, seeing we only had 1 race in, so we'll see how that all shakes up. But it's hard to believe next week we're going to end the 2025 season right at North Wilkesboro, and then we're going to be off until after the first of the year. It kind of makes me, where did 2025 go?
Yeah, it was gone in a blink of an eye, and we had started the year finishing off last season of the North-South Racing League. Then we've already gone through a season with the street stocks, and now we're a couple races in here already. So And it's been a great year for racing, especially here in the North-South Racing League, and I'm sure 2026 will be more of the same.
Yeah, we saw a lot of great action here, and we're going to continue to see great action. We hope you can see you all keep tuning on in as you see our unofficial results from tonight's race up on the board. Guillaume Fortin, Randy Nichols, Ryan Johnson, you heard from them, all part of the SimRacerHub.com post-race show. As you see where your other favorite drivers finish out here. Kelly, some takeaways from Phoenix. I think we saw a great race. We saw pit strategy. It comes down to a green-white checkered. It's Guillaume Fortin going to pick up the win. He'll have to start shotgun at a tough racetrack, North Wilkesboro, heading into next week.
Yeah, North Wilkesboro is going to be a rough race, especially, as mentioned, by even Ryan Johnson. It would be tough to get through the field there. Phoenix is very wide. There's a lot of opportunities, a lot of grooves that you can run, and North Wilkesboro is a little bit tighter, but I think there will be a second groove that will come in, and will give the opportunity for some good racing.
I think so. We'll look forward to that. We hope to see you out there on YouTube tuning in for next week. Remember to hit that thumbs up. Let these drivers know you appreciate their efforts. That's not for myself and Kelly. That's for the racers. They see those thumbs up. They race even harder, put on a great show like they always do. But Kelly, thank you for your time. Safe travels home. Not too far for you this week as we are on the West Coast, but still a little bit of travel as I head back east. And until we see you all next week here on the Turn 3 Racing Networks, I'm Upstate Al along with Kelly Dahl. Good night, everybody.